Jack was 17 when his idea first took shape, not in a lab, not in a classroom, but under a tin roof shed in a remote village where electricity came and went like the wind. He wanted to build something different, a solar-powered cart, lightweight, durable, and simple enough to carry heavy loads over bumpy dirt paths. His village, like many in India, had roads too narrow for trucks and farms too poor to afford even second-hand bikes. He had watched old men and women carry sacks on their backs, drenched in sweat, and he thought, what if sunlight could carry their burden? It wasn't a dream built for applause. When he spoke about it at school, the room laughed. Solar. You think you're some kind of scientist. Go charge your phone first before saving the world. Even his uncle dismissed him. Why waste time with wires and trash? But Jack didn't stop. He scavenged parts from old radios, broken fans, and forgotten batteries tossed near the junkyard. He spent hours watching tutorials in a crowded library computer room, writing down notes in pencil because pens were too precious to waste. He didn't have a mentor. He didn't have money. But he had time, hunger, and the kind of quiet belief that doesn't need anyone's permission to exist that night. While the rest of the house slept, Jack sat cross-legged beside a dim bulb, scribbling solar panel configurations and wheel balance calculations. He couldn't explain the obsession. He just knew deep in his gut that this cart mattered, that it could change something. That vision, however, was still years from being real. And the world, it was still laughing. Days turned into months, months into years. And still, Jack worked. No investor came knocking. No teacher gave him a scholarship. But slowly, piece by piece, a frame began to form. He welded metal bars using borrowed tools. He tested old car batteries under the sun. He designed a makeshift solar panel setup using recycled window glass and scrap copper. It wasn't easy. He burned his fingers countless times, got shocked more than once, and ran out of materials so often he had to sell his old school books to buy spare wires. His father, a tired farmer with calloused hands, didn't understand the project, but he didn't try to stop it either. Just remember to sleep, his father would say quietly, handing him chai in the middle of the night. Jack would nod, eyes red from soldering, but the village wasn't kind. Kids imitated him with exaggerated robot arms. Shopkeepers smirked when he walked by, his shirt covered in grease. Some neighbors whispered to his father, he's wasting his life. All these dreams, they'll feed no one. Still, Jack said nothing. He didn't argue. He didn't defend. He just worked. And after 3 long years, on a dry, cloudless afternoon, the cart rolled. It wasn't sleek. It wasn't fast. But when the sunlight hit the panel and the wheels began to turn, Jack felt a surge of emotion he had never known before. He wasn't just a boy with drawings anymore. He had built something that moved. He ran his hand along the side of the cart like a sculptor, seeing his finished statue. He imagined it carrying bags of grain, crates of vegetables, even children. Too tired to walk, it was real. It worked now. He just had to show the world. The village festival was coming up. It was the biggest event of the year, filled with stalls, games, music, and speeches. Everyone gathered, and Jack decided this is the moment. He cleaned the cart, polished the panels, wiped away every smudge. He even borrowed his cousin's iron to press the wrinkles out of his only nice shirt. He wheeled the cart to the festival grounds early that morning, his heart pounding with nervous hope. People turned to look, but not with admiration. Whispers started, "There goes the cart boy. He brought his toy to the festival." Some laughed, some smirked, some just ignored him. Jack waited until the crowd gathered near the main tent. When the mic was passed around for village youths to share ideas, he stepped forward. Hands shaking, he spoke briefly. "This is a solar-powered cart. It can help transport goods without fuel. I built it for the farmers." For us, a few clapped politely. Most didn't, but then tragedy struck. A little boy, chasing a balloon, tripped and bumped the cart, disconnecting a wire. The cart jolted and stopped dead. Someone shouted, "It's broken already." The laughter came like a wave. Even the announcer chuckled. "Maybe next year. Beta." Jack stood frozen. Heat rushed to his face. His throat felt tight. He tried to speak, to explain, but nothing came out. He pulled the cart away in silence. That night, as the fireworks exploded in the sky above, Jack sat on the edge of his roof, cart beside him, head bowed. I tried, he whispered to no one. Maybe they were right. He didn't touch the cart again for 2 months. 2 months passed. The cart gathered dust. Jack buried himself in chores and harvest work. Every time he saw the tools, guilt twisted in his stomach. Then one afternoon, as he was feeding the goats, there was a knock at the gate. It was Chatu Kaka, a weathered old farmer from the next village. He had rough hands, a crooked back, and a quiet manner. He said, "I saw your cart at the festival." Jack looked down, embarrassed. It didn't work properly. The man waved that off. It moved. That's what matters. Can it carry? Water drums. Jack hesitated. Yes, if I fix it, Chatu Kaka nodded. Fix it, I'll buy one. That moment was small, quiet, but it cracked something open. Jack spent the next 3 days repairing and redesigning. He reinforced the battery compartment, upgraded the wire harness, and added a simple handbrake system. When the cart was ready, Chatu Kaka tested it, loaded it with 80 kilos of water, and drove it down the narrow lane. It worked. Within a week, 2 more farmers came asking, then 5, then the agricultural officer from the district. He asked Jack to present his invention to a panel in town. Jack didn't speak much at the meeting. He let the cart do the talking. By the end of that month, he had 7 orders and a grant to build 10 more. The same people who had laughed at him now asked for advice. The same shopkeeper who had mocked him started calling him Engineer Saab. Jack didn't gloat. He didn't seek revenge. He just smiled and got back to work. 2 years later, Jack stood on the same festival ground where they once laughed. At him, this time, the stage was his dot behind him. A new version of the cart was parked sleeker, with better solar panels and a hand-painted message, powered by the sun, built for the people. He wasn't wearing a fancy suit, just a clean white kurta, his sleeves rolled up, grease still under his fingernails. Children rode the carts playfully through the fairgrounds. Farmers placed their orders. Reporters took notes. The village Prodin introduced him as our very own innovator. A local boy pointed from the crowd. "That's Jack Bai. He's the cart man." Jack smiled softly. He looked around at the crowd not to seek validation, but simply to take in the moment. He remembered the boy with torn sandals and paper sketches. The late nights and tears, the laughter and silence. None of it broke him, because real vision doesn't need applause. It needs patience, and sometimes it takes being laughed at, to eventually be followed